back to the homestead. Oh, that's what I gotta say. So, this here's been quite a project. I'm sorry I'm out of breath. I was just digging over there. But, this really has been a huge project. So, a very brief background, because if I didn't make it brief, it'd be a long time. When we had the remodels done on the house, as some of you probably know, and you can watch our older videos, contractor was not good. One of the things, though, and it seems like the longer that we're here, the more that I realize how much I need to actually fix, which luckily YouTube is a thing, right? So I thought of some ideas on how to fix certain things, and I think I've gotten it down for the most part. This is one of those things. So water has always collected back in this area. So like it's in like the crux, the back of the house, right? Behind the camera lady, the beautiful camera lady, behind her there's mountain. So there's just like this area where water just comes down when it really rains and it collects here. So here's the thing. I really honestly didn't worry about it too much. I really didn't. Like, it was just a little bit here and there. But I guess it was about a month ago-ish. Yeah, had a rude awakening. I came home from work. We were getting an awful lot of rain in a very short amount of time. A lot of rain, like inches, within like an hour or so. And I didn't think much about it. Came home and, changed my clothes and got comfortable. And I look out here and it's just a deluge coming down the mountain. And when it comes down the mountain, as Ginger showed you, I think that's still with the sandbags or the clip with the sandbags, it comes down the mountain, and the idea is it gets in this little trough and flows down into a very large ditch that goes out to the road, the ditch that we had fixed. So that's the idea, right? The problem was there was so much water coming down that it didn't get caught in that trench with sandbags. The first thing that we had to do was this behind me. So the thing is, the house sits a lot lower than the ground level, okay? Ground level, arguably, is where the camera lady's standing, okay? So it's a big difference. I mean, you can't do much about the house, so how do you fix this? So I did some research. I had started with an idea of putting like a black UV resistant like tarp down, filling it with dirt, kind of letting it fill in. And the idea was that the tarp prevented the house from getting wet. The problem is it also traps moisture. So got rid of that idea and I decided to try something else. And this is what I got. So here it's kind of high up. The reason why I can't go much lower is because there's a concrete skirt that's here. And I don't want to go trying to mess with that because I don't know how intertwined with the foundation that is. So I don't want to mess with it. So that's okay. So what I did was the dirt initially was honestly right about up here. So you can see from this foot to this foot, how far I had to go down there. Not a lot, right? And then I can't really show you here. I guess maybe I could, but I can't really. This goes down, this rock bed goes down, I don't know, probably 2 feet or so. And the thing is that it lets that foundation breathe now. You can see that foundation down there. You want the foundation to breathe because if it gets wet, it's going to cause problems, and especially if it stays wet. So that's what happened here. Now you say, well, you got all that rain, what happened? The water was coming down here. Like I said, about a month ago, and it was hopping this little trench that we have here. It was hopping that, coming down here, and the water got up kind of high, right? So we were out here, Ginger and I, trying to mitigate the rain from coming or the water from coming in the windows. Luckily, all that there is fine as far as the house goes, but it was a huge wake-up call for me that we needed to do something. So again, through YouTube University, this is what I came up with. So if you have this type of issue, honestly, guys, even if you just have maybe your foundation is ground level, but maybe you have an issue with water collecting in a certain spot. You can do this too. Now, I came out from the foundation, it's probably like 30 inches or so from the foundation to here. That's rough, 30-ish, right? I haven't measured any of this. So the idea is that if the water comes down here, right? The water comes down the mountain again, because we're getting a lot, 2 or 3 inches an hour. Hopefully the sandbags slow it, but in addition to that, it also has here. So the idea is that the water would come down here, lay in this bed, and help. Now, a lot of people would say, well, you could just leave it open, no rocks. The problem was if you do that, it's going to get a lot of stuff in it, right? And you're going to have, this is going to fall off the stone, kind of keep it at bay. You don't want this to fill in with dirt, because if you have this fill in with dirt, obviously it's going to collect again. So you need this open, and rocks are a great way to do that. So I'm actually going to be going down another, I say probably, I guess that's about 2 feet probably from that drain pipe. I'm not going to go down any more than that, because I just don't think it's necessary. The water wasn't really up there, so I'm not worried about it. But that's kind of like, I'm going to dig that kind of deeper so that in the event we get a ton of rain, it's got a place to go and not in the house, right? And the other thing that you got to think about is that water will always be level, right? Water always tries to find a level point. So because of that, you're going to have, it's going to eventually reach equilibrium here, and a lot slower than it would if the dirt was up. So again, a little bit of physics and geometry there. But again, the idea is that the water is not going to hit here, be on dirt, have nowhere to go and rise up. It's actually going to run down in this little bed and hopefully dissipate. I will say there is a drain under this house. It's not the best. It's very informal, but it's there.
Okay.
So another thing about this whole situation a month ago was just the gutters in general. So these gutters, it turned out there was actually something it was just a little clog down there. It was actually pouring over. Now, if you get a very large amount of rain, flood-like rain, the gutters are not going to be able to keep up no matter what. Okay, so you're just going to have that. There is a max capacity, but there was some in there, and I cleaned that out. But so these gutters are good now. But here's the thing about the gutters that I just want to mention, right? So when we moved in here, again, a lot of sketchy work being done. One of the things that was done that was super sketchy was actually this drain right here. So you can see the sandbag there. Why the sandbag? The sandbag is there because it's propping up this. Now, water doesn't run uphill. There's a lot of geometry involved in this. It's not exactly correct, but you're not going to have to worry about rain coming out that other gutter. So before you say it's uphill, I know, but rise over run, right? Anyway, long story. So the thing is, right, this sandbag is here, but initially, before I started this project, it was all dirt. It was dirt from my foot here clear over. Okay.
There was nowhere for the water to go.
And there was nowhere for the water to go. And this drain was just a downspout. I added all this black pipe myself. All this drain pipe, I added that. So the water was just coming down. What was in the gutter was just coming down here. Major issue. One of the biggest things about moving to this region, especially the last couple of years, I guess, is water management. You got to have, the water has to have a place to go, or it's going to go somewhere you don't want it to go. So you need to make sure that you've gotten channels for it to go. Water will always take the path of least resistance. So again, trying to get that equilibrium point. So there's a lot of stuff involved in this, but all this to say that if you have a trouble spot with water, you're like, where's it going to go? This is I think, comparatively easy step, easy thing you could do. I just worked on it after work a few days, and it was done. Two other things I want to mention. The rock. So all that rock there came from around the property. Appalachia, there's a ton of rocks. So I was going to buy some, and my lovely assistant says, we got a ton of it. And she was right. So we've been bringing that over a little at a time. You might see some of it doesn't have rock. That's because I literally just dug it before this video. So we'll get there. But the other thing that I want to mention too is probably some of you are probably saying, why not use a backhoe? Okay. because we did have backhoe work done here. There's 3 reasons why I didn't use a backhoe on this. So reason number 1 why I didn't use a backhoe was because it simply wouldn't fit, even a mini X. I mean, from the sidewall of our carport to the mountainside is like 6 feet maybe, and it's like hilly, right? Like it's not level. So it's impossible. It's impossible. I asked the guy that had the excavator here. I literally asked him, like, can we do that? No, because actually I didn't want it for this. I wanted it for the sandbag thing, hoping he could just take like a swipe. Just no way to do it. He went as far as he could, but can't go all the way. Can't get around this way because that's even worse, right? So you just can't. Reason number 2 is because I don't think you should be using a backhoe like that close to the foundation of the house. Great example here is this concrete skirt that I didn't know was here. And if it is tied in the foundation, you get an excavator with a claw, you rip that up, and it could disrupt the foundation. You don't want to do that. Even Mini X, right? I mean, it's got a small bucket, but that bucket is controlled by hydraulics. And I promise you, the concrete will give up a lot sooner than those hydraulics. So you just don't want to mess with that, right? The third reason is because, some of you may know I have an office job. So, I sit a lot. This provided actually pretty good exercise for me. So, I understand maybe you're not able to, and that's a different story. But I guess sort of out of the need to have it done, I didn't have a choice. But it was actually pretty good exercise, right? So I'm almost done. What I have left won't take but, probably 15 minutes. But that's the whole thing. You guys can do this pretty easily, honestly. It doesn't require that much work. Maybe something like this might take you a while. That's okay. But the point is that you're doing a little bit, every day and working on it, seeing progress. I am so happy with this job. I mean, it came out great. Only thing I would change about this is maybe I would come out a little bit further, but this has really only happened. The water's only climbed this one time that we've been here. So I just don't think that it's super necessary. If it ever did come down to it, not a big deal, right? You just try to save as much rock as you can and, dig out. But I don't really think that'll be necessary. So again, you got a trouble spot, you can always just dig it out, dig it down, and fill it with rock, and it's great. It's kind of like a field bed, and it's designed to help dissipate the water, and hopefully this works for you, and hopefully it helps you. See y'all later.
Come see Daddy.